Good morning, beautiful people. So today we're going to be working on a shower trailer for Camp Menard in Menard, Texas. And so I got here early. It's rain season in Menard, so we're going to be working in the water. But we're working on the shower trailer that was provided by Texas Baptist Men, which is now Texans on Mission. But it's a disaster relief shower trailer, and we had a pretty huge freeze some years ago, and it busted all the busted a lot of pipes, and so it's plumbed in copper. So they did a really good job building. It's got a washer and dryer in the back to take care of people's laundry, of course. And then I'll take you on a tour inside here in just a minute, because I really want to get as much as I can done while it's not absolutely pouring down rain. So I'll get back with you. Thanks for paying attention. And cut. All right, game. I went ahead and tore this apart. Well, I pulled this panel off because this is where one of the pipes busted. Right there. Right there. Both of those pipes pushed out when they froze. Soft solder will do that. I don't think I've ever seen high silver solder do that. But soft solder, yeah. But anyway, this is what it did. Those two pipes pushed out of those two T's there, that reducing T. And these T's reduced from 1 inch to 3/4, which I didn't even catch that before. I didn't make my grocery list, didn't bring any 3/4, so staying on me. But anyway, I'm using my pipe cutters to hold the pipe while I flux and solder it. All right, flux and solder, sand everything real good, get it nice and clean. That's all I had to cool the pipes down. I also have a dripping wet rag for any issues. But anyway, that's what I did. I don't know that there's any other leaks, so I'm currently turning off isolation valves. I'm turning them to the off position on the incoming water, right? Backflow preventer, and then incoming water goes to the showers, laundry, and then it branches off here, goes up to the individual shower and laundry water heaters. So I have isolated those because I just want to check the water lines first. I've isolated the washer and dryer, and I'm about to go turn or make sure that all the showers valves are turned to the off position, because I want to pressure up. I want to pressure up the lines. I haven't plugged in any electricity. Walk in the door, to your right are sinks and an AC unit, storage for whatever. I got a storage closet. There's some piping down there that I need to double check before I pressurize the system. Cleaning supplies, but here's the fun part. Showers. We got 4 showers. One of them is handicap, or no, they're all the same. Yeah, they're all the same. Okay, so hot, off position, on position. Somebody, oh, that's fun. Handle backwards, cold, hot. Yeah, don't know about that one. That one might have a problem. And then off position, and then that one too. That one is like completely jacked. That's probably going to spew right out of there. So with that thought, go ahead and put the shower curtains, tuck them in, so if I do have that, which I feel like I might, it'll go in the drain. So I looked in this closet, and I just found 2. So when the pipe freezes, it either bursts, it either expands and bursts, rips the copper, or if possibly, something like this, I'm not sure if you call that an inclusion or not, but this dead space here where the copper didn't touch could have been the failure point. Just weakening it is all, but it'll push out anyway. This is soft solder, it'll overcome the soft solder. But yeah, I'm gonna have to sand that up real good, flux it down real good, and put some flame and solder on it. If you don't get it too warm, then you don't have to worry about irrigating out the solder on your other joint. I typically heat the pipe more until it gets hot enough to melt the solder, and then once the solder starts to flow, I'll put my flame on the coupling itself, and then I'll just spray it down. But look at that, yay, a big old fat 3/4 that I gotta repair. Oh my goodness, that's not a good sign. The fact that that's just falling around tells me that it's not connected. And the back there either, look at it, it's just, I could almost pull it out. Or, oh no, wait a minute, yeah, I bet it is. So anyway, this is getting a little hard to watch, so I'll get back. All right, let's see if we can get some of this footage on here for you. What do they call this, B-roll maybe? This is in a really fun spot. Wish I could bend this pipe over and get to it, but this is the I don't know, I don't have a name for it, but this is like shining the bowling ball. I don't know if you've ever seen them shine a bowling ball. They just stick it in, like, I don't know, it's like a handkerchief or whatever, and just you saddle it, the bowling ball in the handkerchief, and then you just pull up and down, leaving the the bowling ball just spins around in the cloth and gets shined up. There's usually probably some type of lubricant on it, maybe, I don't really know. I'm not a bowler, but I've seen it done. But yeah, that's all I'm doing, is just trying to get as much surface area per movement, right, to increase my yeah, I don't know what to say, but I'm just getting more pipe clean. You want super clean. I mean, when you're welding or soldering, you want to be more like a surgeon. Like pretend like you're in surgery and everything has to be cleaned up real good, because I mean, honestly, once you put water on these pipes when you think you got it, the water is going to give you a lot of problems whenever you go to re-weld a joint. So I try to just increase my success by looking at all the details. Of course, that really is, there's only so much you can do. But that's just, I see a lot of people just, they get in a hurry, and especially new guys who don't know how to work and don't know the trade. Maybe they'll be shown something and then they'll run with it. God bless them. And they have to learn the hard way that that's a skill, to use patience and move quickly. But oh, yuck, nice. So it's kind of like shooting, or really anything. You slow and smooth is how you hit your target with greater success. So that's what, my movements and my steps, I think ahead as I'm going. If there's something I don't already know, which I've done 100 times, I just think ahead like a chess game, a mental image of what's the next step. That way I try to increase my moving forward by, if I need to get up and go get something, well, I've already thought ahead, so I'm going to do whatever else I need to do while I'm up and moving, so I don't have to come back or get up again, especially now that my knees don't act like they used to. I want to get up but at the same time, that's just the way I've lived my life. And as I get older, it gets harder. I literally all the time walk to my truck and I have to spend 30 seconds retracing my steps and my thoughts so I can remember why I went to my truck. It's ridiculous, but inevitable. So I roll that up. I don't have a good, proper tool for this, but I just roll it up. Get it in there, and then that, I can just twist it. It really does a good job. I mean, considering. And some of these joints have some crust on them, like they might be weeping. And man, I'll tell you, if that's the case, this is going to be a big job. There's going to be a lot of PEX involved, but I want to try to solder, resolder as many joints as I can. Sandpaper. Alright, so we're going to goober some flux in there. Goober, goober, goober. I don't get shy with the goober. You know, it don't cost nothing, so just pack it in there. You know. Does it end up on the other end? Well, of course. But you're gonna purge your lines anyway. Oh my goodness, this is fun to get to. You're gonna purge all the trash out of your lines anyway. So, and then you're gonna shower. Everybody's gonna shower. So, by the time. Alright, so now that it's sanded, it actually, because with the solder on there, it's gonna be hard to do what I just did by, you know, pushing it up in there, because the solder is thick. It's thickness, right? It closes up the hole, so getting it on there sometimes is tough. Sometimes you have to heat it up, melt the solder a little bit before you can actually get the pipe pushed on. But I cleaned that one up good enough, and there wasn't as much solder, so it was real simple to get on there. But another thing, when you heat it up, a lot of times the joint wants to fall off or come apart, right, from gravity and heat expansion, right? It expands. So again, I've always used the pipe cutters, and I'll just make a little stand. I'm going to close this up so it doesn't wrap around the pipe. So it might drop a little, but if it drops, it'll be very little, because my cutter is right here. So I've closed up the hole, so now it ain't going nowhere. All right, let's go ahead and fire this up. Try to make this repair without not burning everything up. Well, you can see, I guess, you know, good luck seeing it. We'll see what we can do. Ow, sitting on the hose is very uncomfortable. All right, so another thing I've learned throughout the time, this is, don't do anything I'm doing without proper training. This is not a how-to video. This is just you're watching. But so I'm not going to say anything about how to use this torch. I'm actually going to fire it up off camera, because I'm concerned about how silly people are these days. You know, they do really dumb stuff. People just, and I think it's a whole lot to do with being liked. People are desperate to be liked these days. It's the strangest thing to me. But, oh man. See, there you go. Get the silly thing going. Get the daggum. What's it in the way? So I'm going to do the backside first, because I'm not going to put a whole lot on there. Oops, accident. Alright, so I just did that. Now I'm going to just hit it again. It looks like it's already filled up. Or it's too hot. One of the two. I think I've already finished it. Yeah, that whole joint was getting warm. Well, it either filled up or it didn't, so that's it for that one. As an AC, spent my time in AC work. We do a lot of soldering, and I've come to really love the 15% solder, 15% silver. It flows so well. You got to get the pipes a little hotter, but man, it flows good. That's the way I like it. You get it a little warm, you stick it on there. It don't matter how trashy it is. Well, I mean, it does, but don't. The silver is so good at displacing impurities and flowing. I've come to truly love it. It works pretty much every time. It doesn't give me any trouble. And that's why I like it so much. This soft solder, I've had nothing but problems with soft solder. And you know, that's why I've learned to get this so very clean, because this soft solder is so low on silver, it doesn't flow like that. So okay, let me get this cleaned up and taken care of. I've got several more. It's all pretty much the same thing what I just showed you. There's a couple of 3/4 on the outside. I'm gonna have to rip off another panel. I'm gonna have to cut through the paneling behind the sheet metal to get to those two joints, and hopefully there's nothing else in the wall that's leaking. So surely they didn't put another joint in the wall until they got up here to the sinks, but that elbow may be also separated, so yay. Okay. All right, a few things have changed since the last scene. That turned out to be a pretty rough day. I didn't record everything I did because it ended up being like 13 leaks, and everything's in such a tight spot, it's just hard to get to. And I was low on calories and ended up being dehydrated. Interesting, something we should all pay attention to is when it's raining. If you're in the rain, you don't notice how much you're sweating because you're soaked from the rain. That was where I was at. Anyway, here's where we're at so far. Pastor showed up and he's done some work. So he cut out the brace board that the valve connects to. He did it in that one as well. And he cut the hole out bigger so he could cut that up. That's going to be the biggest challenge there because we can't really get to it. But I got the valves, and I have started putting on the PEX connectors, and that's what I'm currently doing right now. I'm starting to put together the valves. Oops. Got the PEX connectors on there, so what I'm about to do is get that taken apart and put together using PEX because it's much less expensive. It's much better price. But anyway, the brothers are over next to the trailer working on the old shower house that has like 4 or 5 showers for men and women on either side. So they've stripped all the outside off and are replumbing in PEX. So GA camp is next week. So we're definitely going to be ready for showers. So praise the Lord. I'll get back to you.